Today must be Bissell Day or something. Anyways, welcome back everybody. Today I'm doing a video on my Bissell CleanView Bagless Deluxe, aka Bissell CleanView Bagless Power Track Deluxe with a CleanView 2 base. So I got this 3 or 4 years ago from Vacuums and Carpet Cleaner Guy, and yeah. I didn't have to, yeah, I did have to do a little bit of work to it. I just threw this handle release on here because it was lying around and this didn't have a handle release. And also, he put an LED in here, I think. He either put an LED in here or it didn't have a headlight. And I changed it because personally, I just think older vacuums with LEDs look crazy. Anyways, I don't remember though. I don't remember. He either had, I know I've had machines with that had LEDs in them, or I've had a machine that had LED in it, and I changed it because it just didn't look right on such an old machine. But it was either, in this machine's case, it either had an LED or it just didn't have a headlight, and I don't remember which one. Anyways, I also replaced the motor because I started to take this one's motor apart and change the bearings until I just got lazy. So yeah, that's why I did that. But other than that, yeah. So this, well, like I said, this is basically just the Power Track Deluxe with a CleanView 2 base. This came out in 2004 and was discontinued in 2005 and replaced with the Revolution Deluxe. And I don't know why it switched to a Revolution. I know a lot of people hate these and write these off as the worst vacuums in the world because the filtration, they cause lung disease and all this, that, and the other. But honestly, I've never noticed a difference between this and the Revolution personally. And Hoover Elite Twin Chamber, that's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, so now I do still want to find a Power Track Deluxe before I get into this. I do still want to find a Power Track Deluxe, preferably the blue one, but I'd be good with the brown one too. If I got one, I'd probably sell this, since the Power Track Deluxe is my Deluxe Bissell of choice. Anyways, from the bottom up, so since this is the one with the CleanView 2 base, it has tabs to access the brush roll instead of, in fact, I'll show. It has tabs to access the brush roll instead of screws like the actual Power Track Deluxe did. So here's the brush roll. This brush roll is in really bad shape, by the way. I don't know if the housing is screwed up or if it's the bearings, but it just sounds very unpleasant while you're using it. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all right now, when I run this, y'all will probably need to turn your volume down. So, wide cleaning path, dual edge cleaning, typical 2000s Bissell stuff. 12 amp motor, 7 height adjustments, uses Bissell style 7 filters and belts, 7 goes all the way down to bare floor and all the way up to high carpet like every other Bissell of this time did. You got your pre-motor filter down here, and unlike the Power Groom, this is actually slightly bigger. And it's also a slightly better quality filter. So it does a slightly better job at keeping stuff out the motor. And also this filter doesn't really get dirty anywhere near as fast as the Power Groom. You could actually go a good while without cleaning this filter. But it's the other filter that's the problem with this machine. So you've got your dust cup here. Twist, slide the lock seal lever, it comes out. I don't remember if I washed this or not, but does it matter? It's dirty again. I'm pretty sure I did. In typical Bissell CleanView fashion, it has a knob on the back that you twist, and this is why I prefer CleanViews to every other bagless Bissell, at least the original ones. Tank comes out. And also, unlike the CleanView 2, CleanView Helix, and Power Force bagless models, all the filters are washable. You just got this filter up here that you twist and pull up on. Okay, I guess I need to clean this. I'm probably gonna do that right after this video, in fact. Filter up here. Yeah. In my defense, I didn't realize well, now that I think about it, yeah, I probably should have cleaned this a long time ago. I didn't realize I had used it that much, but now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I did. So that sits back in like that, and you flip it back around to the back, twist this knob again, and you can also wash the plastic pieces. What is this glittery string thing that's poking out? Yeah. Anyways, and your dust cup sits back in like that. You got your clean filter indicator here, which this is not a clean filter indicator, so do not rely on this. This is an airflow indicator. But anyways, what I was saying, you can wash these plastic parts too and let those dry as well. So that's also a plus. Then you've got your dirt sensor. So this and the PowerTrack Deluxe were the two Bissells that had the most features because they had both this airflow indicator and the dirt sensor and a turbo brush. And this is one of the ones from after they added this indent where you could stick your fingers in and grab it. Now this turbo brush does not work, so unfortunately I can't demonstrate it. I'm not sure what's wrong with it considering it spins fine when I do it with my hand, but I don't know. So that sits back on like that. Then on this side, you have your on-off switch right here. Got your HEPA filter on the side that I also replaced. And it's not that bad, as you can see. Yeah, well, you know, despite me having used this a little bit since I fixed it and not having cleaned the filter at all, it doesn't look like that much of it, or if any of it at all, has went through the motor. So, I guess that's also proof right there that these things aren't as bad as people say they are. Say they are complaining about this, but won't do anti-smoking ads. Anyways, it's supposed to have a dusting brush right here, one of the ones that you push and the dusting part slides off and the upholstery part comes out, but it's missing. And I'm pretty sure replacements have been discontinued for at least the last 15 years, if they were ever even available. You've got the extension wand that I'm pretty sure isn't even from a Korean Bissell, with no crevice tool. It would have just had, for reference, it would have just had the standard gray crevice tool that the other Bissells of the time had. So here's the hose. It does have a couple of holes in the hose I taped up. So, but it still is a usable hose. Still a decently long hose as well. Still goes up to the ceiling. So still get a decent amount of reach with the hose. So, yeah. The good news is the holes in the hose are just little tiny small holes. So that it's not like they were causing that large of a loss of suction in the first place, but still tape them up just because. Here's the data sticker, made in Korea. This is model 3594-1, manufactured on the 301st day of 2004, 120 volts, 60 hertz, 12 amps. Then on this side, you've got your cord hooks. So now we will go ahead and give this a run, and you'll get to watch the dirt sensor. This thing, I started thinking about the PowerTrack Deluxe the other day, which this was basically just the version that didn't have the PowerTrack base. And I was just thinking about how these things are literally proof that it's like every other area of technology has been upgraded on other appliances like refrigerators, ovens, and then obviously other just machinery in general like cars. You know, but vacuums are the only things where the technology has actually been downgraded in the last 20 years for some reason. So anyways, go ahead and give it a run. Once again, this brush roll does kind of sound like a chainsaw, so you will want to turn your volume down. Here we go. I don't know if that sucking noise is coming from that loud. I don't know about sucking, but hissing noise like the air escaping or something. I don't know what that is. I'll investigate that, but see what we got, if we got anything, since I did just vacuum this with 2 other vacuums. A little bit of stuff. Like I said, I just vacuumed this with 2 other vacuums, so, you know. But I mean, the fact that I did just vacuum this with 2 other vacuums, and it still got a little tiny little ball of hair and some other stuff, does show that these things do a pretty decent job cleaning. So yeah, that was my Bissell CleanView Bagless Deluxe. I hope everyone enjoyed.